Hello, good morning. My name is Marcus Sartono. I'm from Department of Industrial Engineering, University of Surabaya. In this opportunity, I'd like to share with you my paper with the title Kansei Engineering and Product Service Systems, or in short, we call it KEPSS or KEPSS, for Customer-Centered Experience. This is the outline of my presentations. The first one is motivations, followed by the concepts of human-side emotional service design, and then followed by the proposed framework of Kansei Engineering and Product Service Systems, KEPSS, and it is wrapped up to be the conclusions and further research. For the motivations for this study, the product and service alone is sometimes difficult to judge. So we have a difficulty to say that it is product or it is a service alone. Usually it is a combination of product and service. With respect to more complex mixture of product and service experience, a more comprehensive method is required to understand the total customer experience better. So the usability or functionality with full of cognitive process is insufficient. Recent study shows that affect, or we call it Kansei or emotions, is found to be stronger customer feedback to perceive product in our service performance. A bundle of product or services, or we call it a product service system, for customer experience is deemed to be interesting. The full utilizations and usability for product and service in the market is expected by user and customer. And a big challenge is how to address and fulfill what the user and customer expecting. The explorations of customer experience through in-depth study of active participations of multidisciplinary experts has been proposed in extending the product service system methodology. Customers expect goods or products and services holistically. They involve both cognitive and affective impressions and satisfactions. Product or service providers should understand the customer expectations, especially with those combined services, goods, supports, and knowledge. Again, a holistic perspective of customer towards full customer experience will drive the emergence of complex product and service system. The backbone of this study is actually Kansei Engineering. So this study is one of the series Kansei Engineering journey. So what is Kansei Engineering? It is called human-side emotional service design. It is launched in 1989. Firstly, it has been applied for product design, which is a sport car called Mazda Miata, and with a concept of design called unity of horse and rider. So when you drive a car, it looks like you drive a horse. So you can control the horse. Yes, it is similar when you control a car. So the objective is to create wow, and indeed, wow is the expressions, the positive impressions by the customer, and indeed is the real transactions as a follow-up by that expressions. So the second one, the second backbone concept of this study is called Kano model. This method is to enhance the Kansei engineering. So there are three main categories for Kano. The first, we call it basic. it is taken for granted by the customer. When you feel it, then the customer will be satisfied. But when you forget to fulfill, to provide this to the customer, then the customer will be dissatisfied. But on the other hand, when you increase the level of fulfillment, the customer will not increasing their satisfaction level. So the second concept, the second category is called performance. It is a linear relationship between what you fulfill and what you get as the customer satisfactions. So for instance, when you come to the hotel and you meet the receptionist, the more, it means the faster, the quicker the time for servicing the customer, then the customer will be satisfied, right? And then the most interesting one, which is very closely related to the Kansei, related to the emotion, is called excitement, or in other words, we call it attractive. This is something unspokenly asked by the customer, but when you fulfill it, when you provide it, the customer will be delighted. But if you forget to fulfill or you forget to provide, then the customer will be okay. So for instance, when you stay in a hotel, in the 5-star hotel, then when the hotel provides you the free delivery of your belongings, for instance, when you order some goods or some products and the hotel provides you with the free delivery, then you will be satisfied, right? So that's one example. So move to the relationship between two models, two backbone models. So between Kansei engineering and Kano model. So Kansei is quite related to the excitement or attractive, or we call it delighter. So this study actually to refine the Kansei engineering methodology, taking into account Kano categorizations and also product service system or PSS design. That's why we call it Kansei engineering and product service system, or KEPSS. So this, the first one, the first step, we choose the human service interaction design or human service system interaction design. So we choose what service industry or what service sector which is very interesting to study, and then we take into we looking at the overall customer experience, so customer will experience product and service. That's why here we call it perceived product and or service attributes. So we take into account the PSS designs and also the Kano categorizations, and then we do measurements and analysis. Measurement, it means that we measure the satisfactions and also how we analyze what service attributes or what service and product attributes which is not satisfied by the customer. And then on the other hand, on the left side, we also measure the Kansei. Kansei is the emotions, emotional needs and satisfaction of the customer. And after that, we combine these two perceptions into synthesis and linear model. And also we take into account the complementary mechanism for tuning of Kansei. So apart from statistical testing, so we also do kind of confirmatory analysis by saying that by involving customer and also the service provider to say that it is the true statistical model or not, or to say that whether the statistical test for certain attributes is making sense or not. And then after that, we propose with the improvement strategy. So this is, I guess, this is the core for this study. So we just propose the conceptual model or the conceptual framework, how to combine Kansei and product service system. So to understand this framework, we provide you with the illustrations, illustrative case study and the discussions that actually this illustrative case study is adopted from Hartono. This is a study with publication in 2020 with some modifications as the illustrative example of how KEPSS framework can be applied. So this case study is about the analysis and the improvement of international airport services. And basically services in international airport are not service alone or nor product alone, but it is a combination of services and product. So with the logic that we use a service quality model, and it consists of tangible and intangible, that consists of 5 dimensions. The first one is reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and also the tangible itself. So there are 5 dimensions, and we use this as a PSS dimensions with additional information. So for instance, here there are 8 product and service attributes. Yeah, with the modifications, for instance, like number 1, PSS1 is the modernity of airport building and lobby. So it is considered to be value-based PSS because we add feature like shape and colors. What the meaning of shape and color here? That the modernity of airport building and lobby will be enhanced by adding specific shape and also adding specific color. The color maybe is chosen the ones that influence calmness or cleanliness, so that the passengers will be more comfortable staying in the airport, for instance. And also PSS2, so it is also considered to be value-based PSS. So this is the PSS properties will be the hygiene of the airport. So we add features called the toilet, sitting, canteen, trolleys, ATM center. So the hygienic airport is not based on the certain place or certain facility, but also it is the whole package of facility which consists of toilet, sitting, canteen, trolleys, ATM center, and etc. Okay, and also we propose the function-based PSS. For instance, here the PSS 7, the performance of staff in handling customer concern. So we add function. So we add functions that the performance of staff in handling customer is not based on the proactiveness, but also the courteousness, friendliness, promptness, responsiveness, and proactiveness itself. So in one functions of attributes, actually we can add more sub-functions. That's the logic. Right. And then yes, using the Kansei words as the response, the positive response of the passengers. So based on the previous study, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Kansei words which are happy, friendly, satisfied, clean, trusted, delighted, nice, and modern. And then using the linear regression analysis, we have 2 Kansei words which are very significant. The first one is satisfied, and the second is clean. So satisfied is influenced by the PSS 6, and then the clean is influenced by PSS 6 as well. And then also from the framework, we utilize the true meaning of Kansei confirmatory mechanism. And then this is kind of the practical confirmations. So we have that the valid Kansei model is satisfied, that influenced by the PSS 6. So in other words, we say that the Kansei satisfied has a strong correlation with the attribute PSS 6, which is the delay notifications. Of course, the delay notifications is related to the Kansei satisfied. It's not related to the Kansei clean. So this is one of the results by using the true meaning of Kansei confirmatory mechanism. So this attribute is also having an attractive category. So it means that this is very strong. Hence, this is very strong attributes which is very related to the Kansei satisfied. Thus, the attribute, the delay notification is deemed to be the most critical PSS attribute to be prioritized for improvement. So by the end, this study actually try to find what service attribute is very critical, very sensitive to the service provider, so that the service provider have time and also resources to fix or to improve this attribute, so that the level of Kansei, the level of customer satisfactions, customer emotional satisfaction will be increased. In the conclusions, this study discusses one of the superiorities of Kansei engineering methodology, which is to engage with other potential techniques or methods in understanding and modeling customer experience better. Also, it stresses the efficiency of Kansei engineering methodology use. Here, product service systems design is integrated to Kansei engineering methodology. The motivation is that product or service alone is sufficient in representing the offering by the company. There will be a mixture between product and service. Thus, this integrated model of KEPSS will help the service product provider manager in understanding the entire customer experience better. For the future research, a real case with various service settings should be conducted. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. For future communications, you can send me email, or you can browse me in the Google Scholar. Thank you and have a good day.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, before I'm presentation, I will introduce myself. My name is Indra Setiawan. I'm from Master of Industrial Engineering Program, Universitas Mercu Buana, Jakarta. I will presentation about reducing production process lead time using value stream mapping and Kaizen approach, a case study in the musical instrument industry. This presentation divided into 5 chapters. There are introduction, literature review, methods, result and discussion, and the last conclusion. Currently, business processes are increasing rapidly, one of which is the manufacturing industry. In Indonesia, the manufacturing industry is very spread in various sectors, one of which is the musical instrument industry. According to Badan Pusat Statistik in Indonesia, there are 20 categories of musical instrument produced in Indonesia. 85% export and 15% sold in domestic market. According to Statista Musical Instrument 2020, revenue in the global musical instrument sector continues to increase. Last year, in 2019, musical instrument revenue was for $32,636. According to the Trade Map International Trade Center, the export value of Indonesian musical instrument ranked second under China. Based on the high value of export to the global market, demand continues to increase. This is a positive opportunity for the musical instrument industry to increase of productivity. The musical instrument industry is one of the electronic manufacturing industries that produce musical instruments. The production process still has several obstacles that must be faced. One of which is the existence of waste, which cause long production lead time. This problem is immediately fixed to obtain an effective and efficient process. The balance between effective and efficient can be done by reduction waste. This study aims to help companies eliminate waste on the said-board production line and provide suggestions for improvement to reduce lead time. This research supported by several references, that is basic theory and article in journal. The basic theory from velocity mapping from Rotter and Shaw, and Kaizen from Taichi Ohno. And article in journal, that is a SIG journal, most related. This is a research framework. There are three stakes. Number one, preliminary stake. Number two, analysis stake. And then number three, result stake. The preliminary stake, this is phenomenon of problem. And then research objective. And then literature review. And analysis stake, there are data collection, current state map, and waste analysis. And the last result stake, this is Kaizen implementation, V2 state map, and then clarification. First, describe the production process in current VSM. This is current VSM. Based on the velocity mapping map of the current condition, it can be seen that the NVA activity 405 seconds and VA 781 seconds, and the last NVA activity is 555 seconds. And this is the detail of said-board production process activity. There are 10 activity. And this is a cause of problem. The long production lead time. There are 4 factors: machine, environment, man, and method. For machine, this is manual handling is bad, and environment, the factor is layout is not good, and factor man, this is many process analysis in VM, and the last method, the method is bad because many process analysis VM. Implementation Kaizen from the root cause problem. Number one, workstation, Indonesian or VM. The cause problem, the said-board material process flow consists of a lot of station. That is VM01, VM03, VM09, and VM10. And improvement combine the station on the staining process or VM09 with the mandatory process VM10. And effect, eliminate the use completion sleep or JS for sleep per day is required before improvement. The transition from VM09 to VM10. After improvement, become non-sleep. Number 2, eliminate the transaction process by 20 seconds. And number 3, the total number of operator has been reduced from 10 to 9 operator. And this is improvement number 2, reducing trolley. And this is a figure before improvement and after improvement. Cause of problem, the current trolley design is not good and it can create a defect. The trolley capacity is only able to accommodate 26 pair of seatbelt material. Improvement, to change the trolley design from original vertical to horizontal standing material, added a flat appearance to prevent scratch defect. In effect, the trolley capacity increased from 26 pair trolley to 34 per trolley. And number 2, reduce the transportation process in a day from 18 transportation process to 16 transportation process. And the last, prevent scratching defect. This is improvement number 3, factory layout. The cost problem, the layout of the setboard production workstation is not good. So to make the long production lead time, and improvement change the setboard production process method from make to stock to make to order. So it can eliminate the work in process or WIP setboard stock area. This is affect certain handling from laminating WIP to setboard WIP by 34 steps. After improvement, reduce the total handling distance from 618 steps to 584 steps. And effect number 2, transportation time is reduced by 353 seconds. And the last, increase the space area 28 square meter. This is after improvement, describe future VSM. And based on improvement with VSM and Kaizen tool, a lead time comparison is obtained between the current value stream mapping and future current stream mapping. Before the improvement, the total lead time was 1741 seconds, and after improvement, the total lead time was reduced from 51 seconds, and this improvement, pretty good improvement for the company. This is practical implication. This case study has provided a good future process for achieving a competitive industry. This case study will guide similar industry to achieve excellence. Besides to reduce lead time, implication of this case study are to reduce labor, reduce process costs, improve production line operation, and increase productivity to increase customer satisfaction. There are several challenges in applying the Kaizen method. Improvements that have been implemented must be controlled and maintained to obtain sustainable result. And the last, the case study explained that the success factor for continuous improvement need the top management support. The last conclusion, the study has identified ways by using the integration method of value stream mapping and Kaizen. This research eliminate handling step in the transportation process, eliminate the use of CS lead, factory layout, and internalizing analysis process or VM. The effect obtained in the study is the sorting of the latent disgrace of 21.4%. Another opportunity that can be developed for future research is implementing the lean combined with the automation industry 4.0. Okay, this is my presentation. Thank you very much. You understand.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Esti Durina Wiyanti. Currently, I'm a PhD candidate at School of Management, College of Business and Law, RMIT University, Melbourne, Australia. I'm also a lecturer at Study Program of Industrial Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Surabaya. Today, I would like to present my paper with the title of Integration of Corporate Social Responsibility for Improved Company Performance, Evidence from the Indonesian Manufacturing Industry. My co-authors are Dr. Sueli Huang and Professor Sharif Asaber. I will divide my presentation into 6 sections, begin with introduction and end it with research findings, discussion, and conclusion. Let's start the presentation. Introduction. Corporate social responsibility, or well known as CSR, can be defined as the integration of a company's social, environmental, ethical, and philanthropic responsibilities to society into its operations, processes, and core business strategy in collaboration with key stakeholders. Prior studies argue that a company's CSR should be aligned or integrated into its business strategy and operations to further develop its competitive advantage. Such integration is crucial to enhance company social, environmental, and financial performance. Accordingly, many managers agree on a strategic interest in CSR, but few fully incorporate CSR aspects into their business practices. As a result, integrating CSR into a business strategy decision is one of the most challenging tasks facing managers. Indonesia as a context. Most studies on CSR are concerned with investigating the practices adopted by companies in developed countries. Because CSR is emerging as a distinct area of management studies in developing countries, it is essential to identify significant information on the contribution of CSR and the main factors affecting CSR performance. In Indonesia, there is an increasing attention to CSR in the current 2 decades. CSR is an important issue in Indonesia. The Indonesian government has released Law Number 40 in 2007 that mandates every company to conduct CSR, especially companies with business activities related to the natural resources sector. This law makes Indonesia as the world's first country to require companies to practice CSR. Therefore, the study was conducted with research objective to investigate the impact of CSR integration on company performance in the context of the Indonesian manufacturing industry. It is expected that this finding of the study can provide a deeper understanding of how CSR can be integrated at the strategic and functional levels and the effects of these integrations on company performance, particularly in the context of developing countries. Theoretical background, strategic integration. The strategic CSR integration represents how far the company's business strategy embraces CSR at its heart. There are 3 essential components in the strategic integration. First, including the idea of social responsibility in the company's vision and mission. This step is very critical because companies with mission and values embedded with CSR are more likely to create a stakeholder-oriented environment that will lead to sustainable competitive advantage. Second, the support from top management. Top management support ensures the success of CSR programs. Despite this support, CSR programs can be difficult to devise and enforce, which can act as critical barriers to CSR implementation. Third, effective communication. There should be transparent communication, both internally and externally, which contributes positively to the fulfillment of the company's objective and is an essential part in the integration process of CSR. Functional integration. Functional integration reflects the extent to which a company makes use of interaction with other intra-organizational units to make its program objectives and practices consistent with its internal and external requirements. The study proposed 6 essential components in functional integration. They are cost, quality, innovation, suppliers, customers, and employee. Cost, quality, and innovation relates to production, while suppliers and customer connects to supply chain. Employee represent the closest internal stakeholders to the companies. company performance. Prior studies highlight that CSR can give positive impact on customer performance, employee performance, operating performance, as well as financial performance. That's why this study covers 4 aspects of this performance. There are 3 research hypotheses that will be verified in this study. Hypothesis 1. Strategic CSR integration has a positive impact on A. Customer performance, B. Employee performance, C. Operational performance, and D. Financial performance. Hypothesis 2. Functional CSR integration has a positive impact on A. Customer performance, B. Employee performance, C. Operational performance, and D. Financial performance. Last, hypothesis 3. Strategic CSR integration has a positive relationship with a functional CSR integration. Here is theoretical framework in this study. Strategic CSR integration relates to functional CSR integration, and both integration have a significant impact on company performance. Research methodology. Population in this study is Indonesian manufacturing industry, and a sample study is Java because 2.8 million manufacturers are in Java with contribution over 70% of Indonesian national GDP. This study used 2017 manufacturing industrial directory as sampling frame. This study also covers 5 regions in Java. They are East Java, Central Java, Yogyakarta, West Java, and Jakarta, and also includes 33 groups of industrial standardization, industrial classification, ISIC. A survey was conducted from June to September 2018 through questionnaire as a self-comparison method via post, email, and personal delivery. The study used an organization as a unit of analysis. After data collection, data screening was employed in 4 steps: checking conformity with the sample criteria, missing data testing, outlier identification, and data normality evaluation. A total of 1,055 questionnaires were distributed and 514 were returned. And after data screening, 435 responses remain with a response rate of 41.23%. In this study, SPSS 26 and PRS SAM were employed for the statistical analysis. Here is the descriptive analysis. It can be seen here that most the product of the respondent companies is food and beverage. Most respondent companies are located in East Java, followed by West Java and Jakarta, and then Central Java and Yogyakarta. The majority of respondent companies are large companies, followed by medium companies, and the last is small companies. Most respondent companies have been operating in 21 to 50 years. Almost all respondent companies, or the majority of them, are private companies, followed by multinational companies, and the rest is state ownership or BUMN. Here is the result of the assessment of the measurement models. Almost all indicators have loading more than 0.7 in strategic integration, functional integration, and also company performance. However, although some indicators have loading less than 0.7, but its contract have AV more than 0.5. It can be seen here in this table that all construct have a AV value more than 0.5 and Kronbach alpha more than 0.7. This table also shows R2 value for all construct and also Q2 value. It can be concluded that the assessment of the measurement model have been achieved satisfactorily. Here is the result of the PRS SAM analysis. After running the PLS logarithm and PLS bootstrapping procedure, this table lists all the direct effect of 7 paths mentioned here. In 9 paths, 8 of them are positive and significant with p-value are less than 0.5. Only one path is insignificant. It is strategic integration to customer performance. Discussion. The research show that CSR integration at the strategic and functional level have a significant positive effect on company performance socially and financially. These findings are supported by previous studies. They show that CSR would have an immense effect on the perception and attitudes of customers towards companies and the goods they manufacture. CSR can increase customer satisfaction, decrease customer compliance, enhance customer service, and improve customer loyalty. However, the results show that only functional integration has a significant direct effect on customer performance. It can be because several indicators at functional integration relate to quality, innovation, and customer that provide a big positive impact on customer performance. Regarding employee performance, the findings show that employees are satisfied with and enjoy working for companies with a high commitment to CSR. They tend to be more optimistic, loyal, and productive than those who work for employers with lower commitment to CSR. That's why CSR practices also can boost employee loyalty and motivation, which in turn helps to maintain high-quality employees. Notably, the findings discover that strategic integration has a bigger direct effect on employee performance than functional integration. It can be assumed that employees are likely to have a positive perception of CSR if it is defined at the strategic level and then used as guidance for business activities at the lower level. In terms of operational performance, the findings of the study highlight that integrating CSR activities into the operation process will enable the company's business operation to be performed responsibly. Companies have the opportunity to reduce production costs, increase flexibility, and improve the quality and performance of shipments when they involve themselves in CSR initiatives, which impact on their operational performance in terms of cost, quality, delivery, and flexibility. The findings show that both strategic and functional integration have a substantial effect on operational performance. Nonetheless, functional integration have a greater impact on operational performance than strategic integration. It is because several indicators in functional integration related to production, such as cost, quality, and innovation. From the 8 hypotheses, 7 of them are supported and only one hypothesis was not supported. Conclusion. Strategic and functional CSR integrations have a positive impact on company performance. It can be assumed that CSR integration at the strategic level can be as guidance for business activities in the lower levels. As a result, employees will have a good perception of companies' commitments to CSR and in returns increase their performances. And then CSR can be integrated at the functional level, which relates to cost, quality, innovation, suppliers, customer, and employees. And this integration have a significant effect on 4 aspects of company performance. There are a positive relationship between strategic and functional integration. This research show that strategic and functional integration can be applied separately or sequentially. Strategic integration can have a stronger impact on company performance if it comes first, then followed by functional integration. It means that the impact of strategic integration on company performance can be mediated by functional integration. Contribution. From a theoretical perspective, the finding of this study can develop a framework of CSR integration at the strategic and functional levels. The findings also provide a deeper understanding of CSR implementation in developing countries, particularly in Indonesia, where the manufacturing industry contributes the most to the national economy. From a practical perspective, the finding of this study can motivate the manufacturing companies to conduct CSR within the company by treating well the closest stakeholders, such as employees and customers. The finding of this study also encouraged the manufacturing companies to increase their level of CSR implementation. They will not carry out CSR as a charity, philanthropy, or just to meet regulation as many currently do, but they should integrate CSR into their business strategy and function. As a result, they will have better financial and non-financial performance that can enhance their competitive advantage. That's all of my presentation. Thank you for your kind attention.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Ibarkah Kurnia from Mercubuana University, Jakarta, and my two lecturers are Mr. Dr. Husnul Jakin and Mr. Dr. Humiras. The second, dear Mr. Madam Conference Jury as examiners and reviewer of this article for event InCITE 2020 Surabaya University. The third, the facilitator or committee of this event as the editor of this article, as well as colleagues who I am full of. Thank you for the opportunity. This time I try to explain the result of my article with the time quality improvement with PDCA approach and design of experiment method in single shock industry in Indonesia. I have a 6 chapter: introduce, literature review, research methodology, research and discussion, conclusion, and reference. Introduction. The apparel industry, especially the knitting sock industry and the like, experience a decline in production. This is because there are still many production defects that are produced. Some sock industry have a similar process. So the most dominant defect is in the knitting part. This research will be explore about quality improvement and production improvement in the sustainable business are significant for companies to remain competitive. One of which is using a PDCA approach and using the DOE method to improve the quality of product. Implementation of Kaizen through step PDCA is advantage and effective in identifying and removing the effect from the manufacturing process. Meanwhile, in this study, quality improvement is carried out using the PDCA approach with the method used are control chart, Pareto diagram, Disbone diagram, MPMA, and DOE. The study aimed to analyze the factor that cause the main weakness in SOC and propose an effort to correct the dominant defect, namely a hole in the single type of SOC. The method used in referring in defect is the design of experiment method with the PDCA approach. The literature review that I include in this study is almost close to the research theme related to the PDCA approach and the use of the design of experiment method in improving the quality of single shock. I have several literature review. For example, the PDCA cycle is a fundamental concept of continuous process improve that is embedded in organization culture. It is easy to understand and should be used by many people in the company. And then I have using design optional method for solving various scan problem in optimal turbine profile, best stage, multi-stage flow path of turbine and heat circuits. Specific example of a design of application for planning computation and full-scale experiment are given. Next. Research methodology. In this research step, I use the PDCA cycle, meaning that at every stage of the process, there is a concept of continuous improvement. Please see figure 1 research framework from start plan, do check, action, and every stage use several method. Based on the phenomenon described, this is research use. Research is mixed method research, quantitative research, and qualitative research. Based on figure 1, qualitative research is fishbone diagram and 5Y and 2X. Okay. Next, fase plan, use U-chart. Please see figure 2 and figure 3. Figure 2 is before improvement and figure 3 after improvement. That the percentage of defect after improvement result in a decrease of 50% for the average or center line after the repair was reduced by 50%, meaning that the result of the percentage of defect every day were still within the control limits. There was no significant increase because operator and QC inspector found potential machine malfunction, which will result in some defect. It will immediately stop the machine and report it to the machine technician. Next, fase V, Pareto diagram. Please see figure 4 and figure 5. Before improvement, figure 5 after improvement. The result and analysis of Pareto diagram can be seen figure 4 and figure 5. Figure 5 show that the Pareto result after the repair experience decrease defect compared to before the restoration. The domain defect before repair were whole defect of 42.6%. The result of the Pareto diagram after improvement show that prevalent defect obtained from lost thread defect 22.3% and whole defect 39.0%. So the whole defect have decreased by 91%. Fase 2, fishbone and FMEA. Please see diagram fishbone research. The problem is whole defect knitting Lonati machine. Fishbone diagram look for the main cause for defect 4M and 1E. FGD is focus group discussion to determine the value of the FMEA rating scale in the Afindex and YY analysis. FMEA ranking 1 until 2 analysis will be plan repair 5YY plus 2H. It is table 1 FMEA analysis of whole defects. Please see after calculation of RPM and ranking number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a problem analysis of FMEA. Next. Fase 2 use 5YY plus 2X. This research will have for problem is the linking needs does not match, saving thread hardness varies, clamps of a thread in the cutter shock go straight to the plate, and then why, how, who, when, where, and how much. I have proposed to management cost improvement have 10 million rupiah. Next, fase check, use design of experiment. I have 2 factor. It is Yan hardness factor and hardness scala variation. and the result is the p-value is 0.0 for the needle type factor and 0.002 for the Yann-Hadness factor. It is not significant. The interaction between the two factors was significant with a p-value of 0.791. Conclusion variable input does not have a significant effect. So the best parameter combination is new needle type and Yann-Hadness scale 55. However, with R square is 98.86%, which means more 65%. The needle type and Hadness Yann contribute 98.86% to defect. Fase action. At the action stage, the author makes a SOP, standard operational procedure, for handling the problem of purported defect. So all improvement that have been done and success in reducing defect, all documents are entered into the SOP as a guide for refining the some problem in the future. Next. Conclusion. The conclusion that can be drawn based on the objective of this study are: number one, the factor that cause the machine consists of a mismatch linking needle, clamp of a thread in the cutter. The causative factor of the material is the varying Yann-Hadness. The causal factor of the method is the shock going straight to the plate. So this research have three factor. This is machine, material, and method. Several proposals for repairing dominant defect include repairing hole imperfection, namely by experimenting with two types of needle combined. With experiment with the three type of Yann-Hadness using the design of experiment method, improving the size of the cutter, timing that and before entering the plate, checked by hand. The result from design of experiment find the best variable composition, namely new needle type and Hadness Yann scale 55. At the same time, improvement depth can reduce defect before improvement is 11.08% and after improvement is 5.50%. My reference used in this research include I have several reference have entry in presenter. Several have DOE code. Okay. That's all I can describe regarding the result of this article, and I hope many this result are approved for the next step, namely publish of my article. Would you please provide input or share the discussion to improve this article? For the next, I will return to the committee, and thank you very much for this opportunity, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.